Hey Gearheads, and welcome to Garage Talk. I'm Corey, and that is the 2023 volume seller for Chevrolet in the Equinox RS. And in this video, I'm going to give you a quick tour of what makes this one so special and why you may want to shop Chevy if you're in the market for a compact crossover. First thing I want to do is say thank you to Pelche Chevrolet here in Tyler, Texas for loaning me this vehicle to show you around today. And if you are in the East Texas area and in the market for a Chevy vehicle, hit up Pelche Chevrolet. I'll put a link down in the comments below. Ask for Franklin. He got me this vehicle today. Huge thanks to them for that. But for 2023, the big news for the Equinox starts here underneath the hood. And let's see if I can do this one-handed while filming. There we go. Underneath the hood is the 1.5 liter Ecotec 4-cylinder, and for 2023 it does get a power bump up to 175 horsepower. This is an all-wheel drive version, and it is mated to a 6-speed automatic. So a very nice little upgrade there. You can see this is not hydraulically supported. So given that I am doing this one-handed, there is a prop rod right there, but unfortunately I can't show that off for you. Close the hood and we can talk just a little bit more specs on this one. So again, 175 horsepower is new for that Ecotec engine here in 2023. It is mated to, like I said, a 6-speed automatic transmission. Front wheel drive is standard, but this one does have the optional all-wheel drive. And we do get very good up to 30 mpg on the highway, even here on this all-wheel drive version. But you can see this is a very handsomely styled crossover from Chevrolet. It takes a lot of styling cues from its bigger sibling in the Traverse. I really like the cleaned up angular styling of this vehicle. If you followed along with me for any length of time, you will know that I owned a 2011 red Equinox 2LT way back in the day. I can't believe it's been over a decade ago, but it is nice to see how this vehicle has grown up. They did not have the RS package when I was shopping for my Equinox back then, which this RS package does give you the blacked out bow tie, the blacked out grille, kind of that black chrome look there. And then you can see we've got LED headlights, LED running lights, and incandescent turn signals up front here. But again, very cleaned up styling. I really like it here in this Equinox. It is the volume seller for Chevrolet, and with good reason. It's really good in its size and fuel economy, so there's a lot to like here. This one does have parking sensors up front and a 360 camera. So this RS version is fairly well loaded and a very nice option for your family if you're looking for a small crossover. Moving around to the side here, you can see the RS also gives you blacked out wheels, blacked out badging, and just a generally cleaned up, de-chromed version of the Equinox. But coming up here to the wheels and tires, we get Hankook Kinergy GT, and they are wrapped around some nicely styled, aggressively styled black wheels. They're actually more of a dark gray. You can see we've got a disc brake back behind them, but these are two 35/50 19-inch wheels and tires. So very nice look here on this compact crossover. Moving around to the full side profile, very cleaned up look, very corporate look for Chevrolet. It does have all these sweeping lines that really became a styling hallmark of this generation Chevrolet. You can find them on the Malibu, which RIP Malibu, and even the Silverado. So a lot of sweeping lines just to break up the flat sides here on this Equinox. Again, being the RS, all around the windows, it's blacked out, no chrome, very classy look. The only bit of shiny stuff you get here on the side is Chevy's keyless access. So you don't get this on all four doors, you only get it on the front two. There is no touchpad on the back for passive entry, but you push it once and it unlocks it, push it again and it locks it. And again, that is available on the front 2 doors, but not the back doors. If you want it on all 4, you'll have to step up to the bigger sibling in the Blazer. Moving around back here to the back, you can see updated styling. We've got LED running lights, LED brake and turn signals. So very cleaned up look back here. Again, with that RS package, not only do you get the RS badge, but you get blacked out badging with the all-wheel drive. You can see blacked out all-wheel drive, blacked out bow tie, and blacked out Equinox badging here on the back. This one does have a power lift gate, and I'm just going to pull out right here to show you that this vehicle can take quite a bit of luggage back in the back for a compact crossover. You just reach under the bow tie here to open that rear lift gate. Now, I don't have the luggage in because I want to show you some trick features back here. You can see there's my backpack, just so you kind of get a feel for how big this rear hatch is. You flip this up and it is a false load floor, and you can see there is a lot of space back there. You don't have a spare tire under this false load floor, so it gives you just that much more room to hide some stuff. And my backpack actually fits under there quite nicely. Granted, it is not full. A full backpack would not, but just gives you a nice little bit of hidden storage underneath that false load floor. If you need even more storage than that, you can see we do have a split fold, 60/40 split fold rear seat that you can actually access from right here. So you've got these 2 handles that actually do fold the seats forward from back here. They don't just release them, but the seats fold themselves forward to give you over 63 cubic feet of space. I believe the number is 63.9 cubic feet of space, which is a lot for a compact crossover. I know CRV and the like get upwards of 70, so it isn't the biggest in its class, but it does a great job of swallowing a lot of cargo back here in the back. You can see these seats don't recline, but we'll talk more about rear seat comfort here in just a moment. And you can see there are built-in spots here if you want to get a rear cargo shade to cover everything back here in this portion. A Chevy puts the power close button up here on the hatch, and for vertically challenged people or people with low openings, there is an option inside that I will show you here in a bit on how to adjust how wide this opens, so it is a little easier either to get to that button or to make sure your hatch does not bump into anything when you open it up. But all around, a very cleaned up look here on the outside. Why don't we take a moment and move inside this Equinox? All right, moving up to the front door, I did mention on the other side, this has Chevy's lock unlock button here on the front 2 doors and allows you to get in with that key in your pocket. And moving inside, closing the door, nice solid close there, and you are greeted by a very familiar inside if you've driven a Chevy Malibu or Chevy Equinox lately. Not a whole lot has updated here in the cabin of the Equinox, but that is not a bad thing. You get really good visibility out of the rather low dash, and it gives you a good view all the way out and around you. The steering wheel is Chevy's 3-spoke design with these kind of rubber membranes so that you don't have to worry about stuff getting stuck behind all these buttons, but I've heard some complain about them. That is really up to you whether or not you like this style or an actual button. You can see this does have a heated steering wheel. It does have lane keeping, adaptive cruise control. It's got a lot of stuff to it up front. And if you look right here, it is a push button start. So I'm going to go ahead and fire it up and show you what it's like. When you start the Chevy Equinox, you do get a 7-inch color Chevy infotainment system. And just like any other modern Chevy product, whoa, can't afford that. Come on. Woo! Cannot afford the licensing rights on that song, but you can see very familiar Chevy infotainment. This does not have the new Google system that they're starting to put in their vehicles, starting with their trucks and SUVs, bigger SUVs, but very quick and responsive system all the way around there. I will mention this does have Apple CarPlay and Android Auto and built-in Wi-Fi. You do have quick access to your 360 cameras. A lot of camera stuff going on in this one. So you have multiple different angles. You can see back behind you, in front of you. You can see a top-down view both in front and behind you. And then you can see both of your wheels up front or your wheels back in the back. You can see your trailer hitch if you want to hook up for trailering, and if you were hooked up, you'd have additional views right there, and you can turn that bird's eye 360 on and off. Really like Chevy's camera system. It is rather clear, does a good job of making sure you know everything around you. Very nicely done there from Chevy, and you get a physical home button that always takes you back home. I really like that. You get your quick access buttons here. You do get an actual volume knob, some actual hard buttons right there. Climate control is dual zone, so you can see here you can adjust your climate. It does pop up there on the screen, but gives you readouts here on the knobs themselves. It is automatic, but you can do the fan control here. And then because we are in the RS, you get 3 level heated seats. It is just the seat bottom, not the backrest. No ventilation here on this Equinox. Moving over to the steering wheel, you can see very nicely done. I already mentioned that it looks like some other Chevy steering wheels. No surprise there, a little bit of part sharing, but it is on a tilt telescope steering column. Very nicely done there. And it is leather wrapped. It is very squishy. It is very nice, a very nice wheel all the way around. Kudos to Chevy on this one. It is a nice steering wheel. And we'll start over here on the door panel. Lock, unlock. Power windows, express up and down only for the driver, and then power windows all the way around. Nice little handhold here. Some textured fabric here on the side that does a very nice job at just breaking up the sea of black plastic. It is a softer black injection molded plastic here on the side, so not that cheap stuff. And then moving down below here, I mentioned when we were back there at the hatch, the adjustable hatch features, so max height, or you can turn it to 3/4, and then you can program how high it does open from there, or you can turn it off altogether, and it gives you a little warning chime that you've turned that off. But very nice touch there for those not needing the full opening. Here to the left side of the steering wheel, you get your light controls, our automatic lights, and then your brightness control for your dash. You get a nice vent right here with a little bit more of that textured material with some fake leather up here and some red stitching because we are in the RS version. It continues all the way across the entire dash. I really like how Chevy breaks up the just black plastic in here. It is a very nice and classy look. Being that we are in an RS version, we get black chrome just like we did in the grille instead of shiny chrome. And yes, it is plastic, but it looks rather nice and gives you a nice little contrast again to all the dark colors in here, as do all the red stitching elements in this one, including the seats right here. So nice supportive bucket seats up here in the front. They are leather wrapped, very squishy, very nice. And you can see we do get a sewn in RS badge, nothing in the headrest or in the backrest, just a little sewn in tag right here to let you know you are in the RS model. And then you can pop open the center console here. It is very deep. You do get a removable little bin here for maybe pins and smaller items, 2 USB-A ports in there. Very nice, and a little channel here for running your cords, so you can set your phone right here in front and have your phone plugged in, charging, and easy access. You do get 2 cup holders forward and aft, a parking sensor button right here, your all-wheel drive on demand button right here, and you actually have to turn that on. It is not an automatic all-wheel drive. Leaving it off will give you a little bit better fuel economy because you aren't having to turn all 4 tires by the engine. You do get a USB-A, USB-C auxiliary input, SD card slot, and a cigarette-style power outlet up front here. No Qi wireless charging, but that's okay. I've found that those are really more of a hindrance more times than not. And then a very nice glove box. It is hard plastic, and it is damped. Very nice. And this does have the Bose stereo system in it as well. I played a little bit of music accidentally for you, but unfortunately I can't show you how well that Bose system works because I can't afford the music rights. You do get a nice little sunglass storage holder up here. And then this one does have the panoramic sunroof. So sitting here at 5'10", I've got plenty of headroom even with the sunroof closed. And then you've got your buttons right here for opening it up. I hit the wrong one. So you've got dual, you've got your sunshade button here on the right and the sunroof button here on the left. You can see it is actually a very massive panel that goes way back. And even the panel that opens is very large as well. So very big sunroof here on the Chevy Equinox. Massive opening here in the front section. One of the biggest I've seen in any vehicle, much less a compact crossover like this one. So very impressed with that panoramic roof. Lets in a lot of light, again, helping with just all of the dark here in this RS version. Because it is an RS, black is your interior option of choice and does a pretty good job here. But let's move around to the back seat and see what it is like sitting in the back of the Chevy Equinox. And yes, I locked myself out of the back. So here we go, unlock right there and pop in the back seat here. I do have them folded flat from showing you earlier, so you can see nice little threshold right there. Not going to lose a lot of crumbs or toys back there in the back, but very easy to fold up. Not only can you fold them down from the back where I showed you earlier, but there's a nice little grip right here to fold them forward if you need it. And you can see leather wrapped, do have the black accents here in the back seat as well. Moving in, you do sit down in it, so there is a little bit of a downward action as you climb in back here. But as you can see, I have got plenty of room back here sitting behind myself at 5'10". Nothing really obstructing my comfort back here as far as legroom goes. And then if the seat was further back, there is a little bit of a cutout. Do have map pockets on both of the front seats. 2 climate control vents here, 2 USB-A ports, and there is a household style port way down here. So you can charge devices back here in the back. Moving around to the door panels, you do get your window switch, which is a little bit wider than most. Little chrome door handle here and more of that textured fabric back here on the back. I really like how it just kind of breaks things up and it isn't just a solid black door panel. I did mention these seats don't recline, so this really is my view back here, the back of the headrest, but I get a nice view out this massive panoramic roof that does go all the way back to the back of my head here. So a little bit intrusive on the headroom back here, but you can see at 5'10", I've got plenty of room all the way around, very comfortable, no recline again, but a very comfortable back seat. And fold down the center armrest, and I've got a couple cup holders back here. All around a very comfortable vehicle. And unfortunately, I'm not driving this one today, so if you want to see me drive an Equinox, leave a comment down below and let me know that you want to see what it's like to drive one of these and experience one of these on the road. And we'll talk to Chevrolet, see if we can't get one of these for a week that not only I can test, but we can get my wife behind the wheel and put Tucker's car seat back here in the back. If you want to see more of what we are testing, be sure and hit the buttons, all the buttons, whether it's subscribe, follow, whatever you have to do to make sure you are notified every time we post new content, because we're going to be posting something new every day this month. So subscribe, ring the bell, follow, whatever. Just make sure that you are following along on this journey. And you can find us on all social media platforms, whether it's Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, TikTok, YouTube. Everything is at GT Garage Talk, or you can go over to gtgaragetalk.com. Again, a big, huge thank you to the team over here at Pelche Chevrolet in Tyler, Texas, for allowing me to give you a quick preview of this vehicle today. If you are in the market for a compact crossover and really like this Chevy Equinox RS, come see Franklin, tell him Corey sent you, and yeah, until next time, gearheads, bye.